Hello there, kia ora. Yesterday, we witnessed tens of thousands of people, both tangata whenua and tangata tiriti, descend on Ngārua Wahia for the final journey of Kiingi Tuuheitia. He was taken from Tūranga Waiwai Marae by Waka to his final resting place on top of the Urapa at Taupiri. The water and the roads were lined with thousands of people. He was greeted by hundreds of people performing a haka at the Urapa as his body was raised to the top of the burial sites. It's a beautiful sight, and it speaks to the immense mana of Kiingi Tuuheitia, a rangatira who has spoken so often about the need to work together and kōrero together to lift up everyone. In fact, this year alone, he made massive efforts to ensure that that message was heard. There was Te Hui a Motu in January that he called for. He travelled to Ratana to deliver that message. He made a rare appearance at Waitangi to deliver it. Just 2 weeks ago at coronation, he reiterated it again. And at his tangi this week, it was a message that kept being repeated over and over. So much so that even David Seymour was finally given that message in person at the Paipai of Tūranga Waiwai Marae. So it's depressing to see how quickly that message has been ignored by some local body politicians. In Hamilton, just 10 minutes from Tūranga Waiwai, Hamilton City Councillor and conspiracy theorist Andrew Bidder wrote about his decision to vote for the retention of Māori wards not as a win for Māori, but as a step towards their removal at the hands of voters. He claimed Te Tiriti has nothing to do with councils because they're not Crown entities. They're set up under an act of the Crown. They derive their power from the Crown, and there's a clause in the act called Treaty of Waitangi, which encourages the direct participation of Māori councils. But he chose to publish that piece of disinformation in the week of the tangi to a far-right media website. And in Kaipara, Mayor Craig Jepson, who was asked this week at a council meeting by Councillor Pera Paniora if they could take a moment's silence to recognise the passing and mana of Kiingi Tuuheitia, well, he refused to allow that to happen.
Before we continue, Mr. Mayor, can I ask that we hold a moment's silence for respect of the passing of Kiingi Tuuheitia?
No, I'm not going to do that today. It's not on the agenda.
Over the next 13 months before the next local body election, there's going to be a lot of noise and a shit ton of racist disinformation in the nearly 40 areas that have chosen to retain the wards, because they now have to go to referendum under law. We're already seeing it with puff pieces in far-right media about one person, one vote and ensuring everyone's voice is heard, that choose to ignore things like the special partnership enshrined in our founding document that guarantees partnership, participation and protection for Māori, and a guaranteed seat at local councils voted on by Māori the same way that people on the general roll vote for other councillors is a small step in the direction of ensuring that. Remember though, that when the noise starts getting louder and louder, and it will, there are two things to keep in mind. Firstly, this government forced this process on councils, including costs, choosing to ignore their processes for making local decisions for their people. And they're the ones to blame for whipping up foment that's going to be caused by, well, councillors like the ones mentioned in this particular video. And also remember that Kiingi Tuuheitia believed that a legacy of kotahitanga, of unity, is lost when you demand there are winners and losers, instead of finding solidarity and a way to move forward together.